guys, we're back with another episode of Tacoimposters. I have no idea what to talk about. Like always, don't know what to talk about. But I was designing an app. Well, I want to make an app. Well, I was looking at coding in general, and one of the things that I found was it's called freecodecamp.com, and it's got good things, but it doesn't have courses. Because there's a course that you can follow. Because I was starting with like HTML, right? And then I went into the forums to ask questions and stuff from the thing, and then people were like, well, you know, it's not the best thing to do. And I'm like, what? What do you mean it's not the best thing to do? There's, well, you know, there's dynamic and static websites, and I'm like, oh, what is this crud? And but I don't know if I want to do websites. I'm thinking of doing websites, but I don't know because, I want to make an Android app. And so I found this thing months ago, like almost a year ago, like last March or April, March, end of March, around there. Anyway, and it was something called MIT App Inventor, and it's good, but it's weird because you're not coding anything. Oh, by the way, sorry if you hear stuff outside, like hear cars going by outside. I'm in my garage because I wanted just a different place to record, so you'll just hear stuff from the garage. Like, right? No, you're not picking up all those noise. Anyway, yeah. So it's you're not coding anything in MIT App Inventor. It's kind of like something called Scratch. It's like a coding block thing where you drag and drop blocks in. I also saw someone's I got these ads on Instagram for this TED Talk about this woman. It's a black woman, and she's explaining how you're never going to code. We're not going to code in the future. We're going to like do this like, kind of drag and drop kind of stuff. And it's like, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I could, yeah. I'm not saying that'll be anytime soon, but I could see that like a majority of people just never learn to code. They just have to do drag and drop things. Anyway, yeah. So. And I was following a tutorial that I found, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to modify this tutorial to make a better app. Or to make, to customize it the way I want to. But then there's all these things I don't understand. It's like, and from what I've found, a lot of these programmer people that know how to program, that are in these forums that I look for, like, help, you know, I ask questions and look for help, they always give me the same answer. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but we're going to help you try and figure it out yourself, which okay, it's great to learn that way, but I don't care. I just want the answer, you know? I just want the answer. It's like, okay, please just tell me what I'm doing wrong here and why it's wrong and what's happening, you know? And why it's either screwing up or it's not doing what I want it to do or it's showing something that's wrong or what's this error mean or this, that, and the other thing. You know? But they're not. I've been told multiple times, yeah, we're not going to tell you how to do it. So, but we can help you, you know? But we can only help you so far, because then it's basically telling you, it's like, oh, well, just tell me, you know? But I guess it's better for me to learn that way, because otherwise I'd just be getting all the answers everywhere, and I wouldn't learn how to do it, I guess. I don't know. Because they have, like, documentations, they have PDFs of, like, different, like, how to make an app, different ways. And I don't know, and I've heard that, like, from what people have said, too, other people from other forums, from the forums on Free Code Camp, I asked the question, what do people think of MIT App Inventor? And one person was like, I never heard of it, but they looked into it and said, looks good. But it looks like a very good thing to get your feet wet, you know, to like get in. But there are better ways to make apps. Or you could at least do more. Looks like you could do more with other apps, like Unity or, well, other coding stuff, like Unity or Unreal Engine, or even, Android app developer, Android Studio. But the problem with Android Studio is you have to learn a coding language like either Java or I don't know how to say it. Colton? Is it? I think it's spelled. I'm not sure. Or is it KOL? Is it KOLTYN? Okay. I don't know. But Java, so I was like, I was learning Java, and then I wanted to know if there's an easier way to do this. And there are easier ways of doing it. It's just, you know, it's just they're not as good. It's kind of like what the guy at my local card store says. He says Pokemon is a great card game to start with. It's a great card game to start with, and to get a kid into it at age 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there, that like 4 to 7 age range, where it's like you do a little bit of math, just a little bit of math with the card game, and that's it. Like there's not a lot of these rules and technical stuff that you have to learn. But and then Yu-Gi-Oh is for like 7, 10 to like 12, 13, around there. And then Magic the Gathering is everything, right? Everything else other is like 13 and up. But he says if you can get them to play Magic the Gathering early, just do it, because it's the one that like everybody plays and it's the most popular. And it's just don't even bother with the other one if you can get them that way. So it's like this. But if you can learn real coding language, just skip all these weird, like, easy drag and drop things, because they're not as good. At least from what people are saying, it's not as good. On these forums, they're not as good. Yeah. Just learn the coding language. And because they linked me an article, one of the people linked me an article, and it was how to make an Android app, and basically the article was like, yeah, there's 2 ways of doing it easily, without, hundreds of hours of coding, everything, like the whole engine, right? Unity or Unreal Engine, and apparently for Android, this article said Unity, for most of the projects, just use Unity for most projects. I was like, okay, which you have to learn, I think, a little bit of C++ and a little bit of something else, or C++, and then a little bit of something else. I don't remember what the other thing was. Look, I'm just a noob at this. I have no idea how to code anything. I follow tutorials for everything, and I've never made a native app, in the sense that I've never coded anything in my life. I've used these like drag and drop things. I made a tic-tac-toe game. But I followed a YouTube tutorial. Yes, I'm trying to remember if it was a written tutorial or a YouTube tutorial. Anyway, and I that's not straight. I just realized the camera is not 100% straight this way. That's annoying. Anyway, let's leave it, because what's the point in half, like, so we went into it, but yeah, so yeah, I know none of it. I've not done coded anything in my life. Yeah, so I followed a tutorial for the tic-tac-toe game, and so and then I'm following this tutorial to try and get this other app working, but I can't do certain things, like, how do I like add this or add that? And then so somebody was like, look, we're not going to tell you how to do it. Nobody's going to tell you to do it in this necessarily, but I'll give you all these resources on how to do it. But the problem is, it doesn't tell me how to do that. It just tells me how to use these blocks. And I'm like, but how do I make that block do this? And then you have to take what you've already learned and be like, oh, well, if I know click this, then do this. It's like, oh. Because that's my problem. I'm really bad at, like, take what you know and do it. And it's like, oh, I don't know how to do that. Like, but what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to put here? Well, think of what you've already used. My thing is, wait, but if I rewrite it or change it to this, does this work? And it's like, I don't know, I'll modify it for my own way. Is this the way to do it? And then they don't tell you that, but yikes. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. I'm going to try and make an app. Maybe I'll post it somewhere. I don't know where. This app, probably not going to be me publishing this app anywhere. But I want to try and publish an app. I want to make an Android app. I definitely want to make an Android app. I know that. I just don't know how to go about doing that yet. Probably learn like Udemy. Oh, well, I found a Android app developing course on Udemy for free. I was like, whoa, free? Wow. I didn't even know that they offered free courses. But anyway, But then again, there I don't think it covered game development. You know, it was like app development, which is fine enough. But and then fine enough, but I want to make a game. I don't care for the other stuff that you're going to teach me. Not that it's not useful in the long future, like, but I just want to know how to make an app. I don't care. I just want to know how to make an app. I'm sorry. A game. Not just an app. A game. Specifically a game. Anyway. So maybe I'll look up on Udemy to see if they have free game, like Udemy development courses. Sorry. I keep saying Udemy. Unity development courses. So, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you if they did or not. But, yeah. So. Yeah. I might look up how to do other things too, like how to code like games on Windows, how to code games for, or maybe Steam, I don't know, how to code games for other stuff, I don't know. I was thinking of doing iOS too, but I don't know if there's an easy way to convert apps. I know there are ways of doing it. I was using a book, Beginning Coding for Dummies. And they were explaining how you could like, I don't know if this is correct. You like, there are programs to take one code and convert it, kind of, with. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it is, or you have to manually convert things, change a few lines to. Because he was talking about Windows and Mac in that. Cause I think that book came out before the iPhone. I'm not even sure. I've never looked at it when the book came out. But yeah. So. Yeah, so that's what I want to do. I want to make an app. And I'm still doing the animation course, don't worry. But yeah. I'm doing a few animations, like little things here and there, but now I need to put them together to make like a cohesive story. Right? So anyway, yeah, so that's what I've been doing lately. And I want this app so bad. And I'm at the point where it's like so cool, like where it's like, I'm actually making this, I'm doing this. This is crazy. Whoa, I did that. Like I remember one of the first things I ever did with code was, now from the book, Beginning Coding for Dummies. I think it's version 2 or something. Anyway, I don't know what version it was, but anyway, Beginning Coding for Dummies. They wanted you to use Liberty Basic, which was basically, pun intended, basic, but easier English language and more modern. It was closer to English language and it was more modern. And I remember the first thing I ever coded, or one of the first things I ever coded, I don't remember if it was exactly the first thing, but one of the first things I ever coded was, I sent a command to the printer, print this. And it was, I think it was, save the dolphins, don't eat tuna? Kill the tuna? Something like that. Save the dolphins, don't eat tuna? Or something? Or save the tuna, kill dolphins? I don't remember what it was. Something like that. I remember it was just weird when I wrote up, like, why am I writing this? Anyway. Then I looked into it and I was like, I was like, oh, I can write anything here, right? So I realized, I'm like, and I went like this, I clicked, and then it printed it out, and I was like, I just told the printer from the computer, wirelessly, to print this. Oh, that's amazing. With code, that's incredible. That's absolutely insane. I'm like, wow. And then when I got this app working the first time, the tic-tac-toe app, I was like, I did this? I made this? Whoa. That's incredible. That's insane. That's ridiculous. That's, whoa. Just that, like, I did this? I did this. Wow. I'm just like, wow. You know? Anyway. Yeah. So, anyway. So that's that. That's what I've been doing. So, and then, I had one thing I could talk about after that, which was, I don't remember what, 3 days ago? 2 days ago? 3 days ago? was like Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember. Oh, it's the 21st February. Oh, I don't count. Yeah, I always forget the date. Yeah, February 20th, 2021. So like Tuesday or when? No, sorry, Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember when. Anyway, Nintendo put out a direct, and they did it. They announced a few things. They announced what did they announced? They announced Splatoon 3. They announced a couple of other things. I don't know exactly what else. But the big thing they announced was, well, they announced that there was more development of Breath of the Wild 2. I don't know if they actually showed us anything. I don't think so. But the thing that the big announcement that I took from it was there's going to be a Skyward Sword HD. And I was like, that's cool. That's cool. A lot of people don't like that game, and I don't like it. For two reasons. One I can kind of deal with, but the other, oh, I hate it. I'm sorry, I hate it with a passion. It's too slow. I can't deal with the slowness. And the second thing is the motion controls. Now, I can deal with the motion controls. I don't hate motion controls. I think it actually is decent in Skyward Sword. It's not great, but it's decent in Skyward Sword. All motion controls are kind of dumb after like you use it. Like you realize it's a gimmick. Like after a few minutes, you're like, okay, this is a gimmick. Okay, good. Give me my real controls. Or let me play a game with real controls. Like, come on, this is stupid. And it's not the worst. Like, it's a great. Like Nintendo bundling in Wii Sports with your every Wii at the beginning was great because it was a very good tech demo of, oh, here, look, motion controls, they work. They're very basic, but they work. Right? And so, but then that's kind of where your motion controls kind of end. For a lot of people, they're like, oh, great, I play 5 minutes of whatever, and there you go, I'm done. Right? And then you get all these other games where they try to utilize it, and then it's just bad. And then you get the games where they're like, do this, do that, like, all these, like, different moves and whatevers, and then you realize, like, I think I said this before, you realize that you can just, like, do any motion, it's just moving. Like, I think I said this before, my best friend, when I was a kid, had Just Dance 2, I think, on the Wii, and Just Dance 2 on the Wii, and I was doing it, right? So it was me, his sister, and him playing the game, right? 3 people playing the game. And I think it was 3 people, anyway. It could have been 2. I don't remember, actually. Anyway, but we're playing the game, and I'm up there doing, like, the motions, right? And, like, oh, we gotta go into the right way, man, right? And he's just sitting there on the couch like this, timing it perfectly. And I'm just like, come on, man, you gotta do it. And he's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. It was also, okay, my doctor as a kid, okay, was like, you gotta get up and do, right? What kind of stuff do you do? And I'm like, oh, I have a Wii. I have a Wii. And she's just like, no. My son has a Wii? No. You can sit on the couch and do this. And I was like, and that's when it, like, hit me. It was like, oh. That's one of the times it hit me. It's like, oh. So it's not as good exercises. You know, I thought or wanted it to be, right? I wanted to replace everything, you know, so I could just like sit there and play video games all day and you know, classify it as exercise, right? Like the people who eat a pizza and go, I ate my vegetables. You know, hey, you know, serving the vegetables, whatever. It's like, no, you didn't. Stop it. It's terrible. It's not the same thing. But anyway, so back in motion controls thing. So when Skyward Sword came around, a lot of people hated the motion controls. Like, the game is okay. It's just so many people were like, its motion controls were terrible. And so when Nintendo, at least in my opinion, when Nintendo said, and we're keeping the motion controls for the HD version, I was like, why though? They didn't even have an option. I mean, as far as I know, they didn't even have an option for non-motion controls. I was like, why? What the heck? Why? give us an option for non-motion controlled gameplay. Like, you did it in Breath of the Wild, didn't you? Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can play with a Pro controller or the Joy-Cons. But again, that game doesn't have motion control the same way Skyward Sword does, Breath of the Wild. So you don't like one-to-one motion controls. Maybe it'll be better with HD, with these like new motion controls. I don't know. HD Rumble and stuff like that. I don't know, but they just don't want motion controls at all. People thought motion controls were done after I've been done when when the Switch came out. They were like, okay, so motion controls are finally dead and nobody cares. Like, motion controls are dumb. And they were kind of just like, again, you could tell they were a gimmick. Certain things they worked okay, like I said, you know, but most things just didn't do a very good job. Like, they were not great. And they shoehorned them into like everything. And it was just weird. Like a lot of games, and it was just never good. So anyway. But then they pulled it out for things like ARMS, where you could like fight like this. Apparently you could like box like that if you held the Joy-Cons like this. I'm like, but why? Why? No offense. Why? Anyway. So people were like, oh, so they're not dead. It's like, no, they're not dead. Motion controls. But then again, I don't blame Nintendo for doing that. I don't want to, like, what's the word I want to say? Like, I don't want to, like, bash on Nintendo. The argument could be, well, we want to keep it like, 100% original gameplay. We don't want to change anything. We want you to play it the way you would have played it on the Wii. Just in better graphics. Or just on your Switch that you can now bring around with you. Oh, no! I just realized. Now if you want to bring it around, you have to set it down to play it? Oh, that's dumb. Can you even use it when it's connected? Joy-Cons? I don't even know. Can you? Let me see. Let me just see. Let me see if I can. Oopsies. Let me just see if I can. I don't know. Let me see. Let me look it up. Because that would just be stupid. Come on, man. Anyway, so yeah. You know, like, whatever. Where is it? I'll look it up. Can you play Skyward Sword? Skyward Sword HD with controller. There you go. I just want to know. Can you play Skyward Sword HD with controller? Now, who's gonna go where? No, not Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword HD. How is Skyward Sword with classic controller? You can't. You can only play it with the classic controller on Dolphin for PC. Oh. Well, I mean, you can emulate it with the classic controller. Okay, great. No, wow. No. There, HD with controller. I want to know. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD announcement. Don't worry, Skyward Sword HD is still playable if you... Apparently according to PC Mag. Okay. Don't worry, if you hate motion... Oh, it is? How? Yesterday, which is... When was that posted? This was posted on the 18th, the 20th, so 17th. The date? Wait. Today's the 20th. Oh. 20th. So it's Thursday. Okay, last Thursday. Anyway. Yesterday, Nintendo announced The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword has been updated and was being updated and re-released in HD for the Switch later this year. The original required motion controls, but if you hate motion controls and just as importantly, what if you own a Switch Lite? That's the other thing. What if you own a Switch Lite? Oh, I didn't think of that one. Couldn't you not play it? Let's see. Switch Lite and therefore cannot detach the Joy-Cons to swing around like a sword and shield, don't worry. Nintendo is curating for both scenarios. The Wii may have been a very successful console for Nintendo, but not everyone was a fan of playing games using motion controls. Quite a few people managed to damage their TVs thanks to inadvertently throwing their Wii remote at it. Yeah, I heard that. Well, no. Experience, I've heard my friend threw his Wii remote backwards and hit his mom. Like behind him. Like she was going by or something and he hit her. Apparently. And then I've seen the videos of people going like straight into the TV. Anyway, where was I? Man, damaged their TV thanks to inadvertently throwing the remote at it. Skyward Sword on the Wii required the Wiimote nunchuck. Well, also it required a Wii Motion Plus. But anyway, nunchuck and Wii Motion Plus peripherals to simulate wielding Link's sword and shield. Nintendo has recreated that same motion input using the Switch Joy-Cons for a new version. If you own a Switch Lite, though, or prefer to sit down and tap buttons when playing games, Nintendo has you covered. There's a button-only input method included with Skyward Sword HD. It replaces the motion controls for the sword with swipe movements on the right controller stick. You can see how it works in the video above, and it looks to be very intuitive system. Very intuitive. Okay, so it was Skyward Sword Joy-Cons. Okay. Because that game came with, or at least the pre-order came with. Actually, I don't know if it came with that. No, I don't think it did. My brother, I think, bought it separately. I was gonna say it came with a strategy guide. It did not. I don't think. Maybe it did actually. I don't remember anymore. It's 2011. I don't remember. This is 9 years ago. Anyway, it came with a golden controller and a soundtrack. So golden Wii remote and a soundtrack. So anyway. Okay, so you can play it without that. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, you can. Okay, never mind then. I don't know how intuitive it is. Apparently, it's like you have like motion. You have like gestured things with the right Joy-Con. Right Joy-Con, sorry. No, right Joy-Con, yeah. Right Joy-Con, so. I don't know, like you swipe and stuff with the right Joy-Con. I don't know how well that will work, but hey. At least there's an option there for those people who are like, this is stupid, I'm not playing with motion controls. So yeah, I mean, but then do they fix the do they fix the thing about do they fix the problem of it being really slow? Because for me, it was super slow. The game was just horribly slow, and apparently it had the same development development as the Breath of the Wild, in the sense that it had like 5 or 6 years, like just a long time, and they scrapped a lot of things and like rebuilt things, apparently, from what I've heard. So it's like, oh my gosh, wow. And they ended up with that kind of game. Fakes. Now, it's not a bad game. I just can't deal with how slow it is. I just can't. I just can't. It's like if you took... I don't know. I was going to say, it's like if you took, what's it called? And just, oh my gosh, Twilight Princess, and just made it a little bit more cartoony looking with brighter colors, and then just made it like 30% slower. I don't know, it just feels just sluggish for some reason. No, yeah, it feels slow. I don't know how to explain it. You have to just play it to experience, like, to get it. Get what I'm saying? But play it to know. You have to just play it to know what I'm saying. But it is slow, and I just can't deal with it. No, I can't. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I tried, like what? I'm gonna say like 2 years ago, about, or like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. Anyway, and I was like maybe three. I don't even remember. No, maybe it was probably 3 years ago. Or like between September and December of 2017. Anyway, and I was like, I can't do this. This is too slow. This is way too slow. This is like disgustingly slow. Oh my god, I can't do it. So, it's like, ooh, you know? So, anyway. Because I think it was Aaron from the Game Grumps who basically said, it feels like they make you go really fast, but they force it in, and it's just not good. He does not like that game at all. I don't blame him. It's not a good... But it's one of the weirdest Zelda games, too, in the sense that, like, strange looking with strange this, strange that. It's not a bad game. It's definitely not a bad game. It's just kind of odd. I don't know. But again, all Zelda games are kind of a little weird, so... You're not like Mario games where it's basically the same game every single time you play it. Now, it's not, but you can definitely tell that it's not super different for a lot of them. At least, not all the way up until my Sunshine. Then it gets like a little different, and then Sunshine, and then Galaxy and Galaxy 2 are very, slightly different, but still the same general idea though. Whereas Zelda is very much different. A lot of the games are different. There's like different things about it. Anyway, so you can play with controls. Okay. Because I was afraid that it was going to be motion controls only, and we're all going to and people were going to get mad and have a conniption and be like, "No, this is stupid." Blah, 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 blah. You know. So, I mean, hey, I don't know. I don't have a Switch, but I'm sure some people will be happy with that. So, yeah, some people will be happy with that. So, yeah. So, yeah. This is the remakes, right? It's another HD remake because they made Twilight Princess, or they made Wind Waker HD, and then Twilight Princess HD. And in those games, they changed little things where, like, these quests were really long, or this was really, like, drawn out, or this was really slow, or this was and they, like, either removed parts of things, removed things entirely, or made them a little bit faster, from what I've heard. So, or added a few things, like, I think, I believe in Wind Waker HD, they added, something called a Swift Sail, which I think makes things go faster, is that correct? Like, you sail faster? Because that was people's big issue with that game. They were like, the big thing you didn't like about the game, it was that the game just was tedious in the fact that you had to, like, sail everywhere. And so, like, it was so much, it was, like, amazing when you got the, teleporting song. Because people were like, oh my gosh, I don't have to sail everywhere. Now, they didn't teleport you to every island, but they teleported you fairly close to most of the islands you need to get to. And some of the islands you could actually go to directly, so it was okay. So Swift Sail apparently goes faster. We still have to sail there, so it's still not super better. I don't know. Doesn't fix it completely, but anyway. And then Twilight Princess, they changed something or other. I don't know exactly what they changed in Twilight Princess HD. They made a quest shorter or something? Side quest shorter or something? And they made... Oh, yeah, the other thing in Wind Waker, they made... What they made one of the quests... Oh, they made the quest where you're finding all the Triforce that it's shorter? Or no, the sea chest things where you have to, like, look for the chest. Is that shorter or something? I don't remember. Anyway. Yeah, so... And then this one. Because Nintendo have been doing that recently. Well, not recently, but, like, on the Switch, they've been doing a lot of, like... Let's make remakes of old games. Not a lot. A couple. Just a few. Less than a handful, but yeah. They made, like, a remake of, the Pokemon Yellow. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Which is apparently slightly changed also. Slightly. But Well, I can talk about that. I can talk about Pokemon. Um, yeah, I think they should remake. Well, it's not a good game, but they're going to remake. The, in my opinion, no. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say, in my opinion, the worst Pokemon game, but I don't know if it's the worst Pokemon game. I was gonna say, Diamond and Pearl are the worst Pokemon game, but now that I've I've replayed a bit of Diamond in recent years, and I've looked back and I'm like, it's not as bad as I remember it or it's not as bad as when I stopped playing it and I pulled it out the first time again. I was like, oh, this is awful. It's bad. No. It might be nostalgia because I played it as a kid and I loved. Well, I liked it as a kid because it was the newest Pokemon game I owned, and I was like, oh, this is amazing, you know. And I didn't know what was good and what was bad. Anyway, but Black and White I think is the worst. I think Black and White is the worst Pokemon game. It's bad. It's useless. There's no reason to play it. There's no real reason to play it. At least with Diamond and Pearl, you could get Pokemon Dialga. Is that it? That might be it, actually. I was gonna say, because the legendaries in that game, they had the most legendaries and the most useless legendaries, the most amount of useless legendaries. Because in that game, you got, okay, I'm gonna name them all. Pokemon Dialga, Garatina, Darkrai, Arceus, Shaymin, Cresselia, Manaphy. If you breed it a Manaphy, you get a Fion. You get Uxie, Mesprit, Azelf. That's 11. 12. Sorry. Uxie, Mesprit, Azelf. Regigas, if you brought all the Regis to that game. Regigas. Oh, there's another one. That's it? 14. Holy crap. 11. 13. 13 already, so what else is there? I think that's it. Yeah. That's a lot. There's 13 legendaries in that game. That's insane. I think. Let me just count again. Polga, Dialga, Garatina, Darkrai, Arceus, Shaymin, Cresselia, Rotom, Manaphy, Fion, Uxie, Mesprit, Azelf, Regigas. That's 14. Holy crow. That's 14 legendaries. That's insane. that's a lot. Usually there's like one, maybe two. You know? 14. And most of those are not actually battle useful in any way. No, not at all. Because I don't know, just I'm not super, versed in good at Pokemon, so I don't know what all the technical stuff is. Oh, it's good because he's got great stats and this, that, and the other thing, and blibbity blabbity. Oh, this guy's moves are amazing with attacks and defenses and specialists. I don't know any of that technical stuff, but I just remember never using any of them. But then again, I was the kind of kid who played Pokemon with your starter throughout 90% of the game, or my starter up until you got the legendary, and then I played with the legendary and the starter, or the legendary for the rest of the game, most of the time. So, and I did that with the first Pokemon game I ever played through. The first one I ever played was Pokemon. First one I ever played I think was Pokemon Blue, and then I think it was Crystal. But these are my friends, and I only played a few minutes of it, picked it up and whatever. I didn't play for any significant amount of time, and I didn't know what I was doing at all. Don't even ask me what I was doing at that point. But and then it was Fire Red. My brother got it for Christmas, I think 2008, I believe. Anyway. Yeah, 2008. And then the first game that I ever played through completely was Emerald. Just remember that. Yeah, I remember that game. That game was amazing. I love Emerald. Something about Emerald that's just so good. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, um, yeah, so lots of legendary. Anyway, but people want a remake of Diamond and Pearl, and I'm like, but why? It's not a very good game, and it's still not. It's still not a very good game. But it's not the. I don't think it's the worst. In my opinion, I think it's Black and White because there's no point to playing Black and White. I don't think it's got great story. I don't think it's got great Pokemon. I don't think it's got great legendaries. I don't think so. Because there's two reasons you play Pokemon. You play for the story / gameplay, just play it, just to play, and you play it to get the legendaries / like some of the Pokemon, starters and some of the Pokemon. So like something like Red, Blue / Fire Red, Leaf Green, right? You play those games because they're great games to play, right? They're just good games, good story games in general, right? As a whole. Then you play Emerald for all the legendaries for Rayquaza, or like Emerald / Ruby Sapphire Emerald for like Rayquaza, Kyogre, Groudon, and the Reggies. That's what you play it for, like, and there's some of the starters and some of the Pokemon in it. Starters are great. There's some Pokemon from that generation that are like really good, and then but then you go to something like Black and White, and it's like I don't see the point. No, some people argue that what's his name? Zekrom and Reshiram are actually decent Pokemon. And I'm like, yeah, but you're gonna play that whole game? That game is weird also, with its stupid, like, 3D, not 3D perspective looking thing. It's just dumb in my opinion. I did not like it at all. I mean, it was first instance of the 3D moving Pokemon in battle animation. I'm like, but I don't care. It's just stupid. I don't want. Anyway. I'm not saying it's a horrible game and you shouldn't play it, but I personally just think it's so horrible. Anyway, it's bad. That is my rant on Pokemon Black and White. That's when I stopped Pokemon. I was like, no, this is awful. And then what was it? At least 3 years later, maybe 4, could have been even 4. I'm trying to remember because that game came out when, like 2010, 11, I think, or 12 maybe. Did Black and White come out in 12? Maybe. And then I didn't play till like 15. Yeah, about 15. Again, because my brother got me X for Christmas, and it was so good because he got Black and White too, and I remember watching him and playing, seeing him playing, and I'm like, it's just like Black and White, not good. I remember when I first played it, it wasn't horrible, but then as I kept playing, I'm like, I hate this, and I never played it again. So I just never did. I was like, oh, this is dumb. No, and then I've never picked it up ever since. I might pick it up again just to see how the game was. Now the seasons thing was like interesting, but I thought it was dumb because it was reversed seasons. I was like, why? What's the point of this? This is stupid. Anyway. So if it was summer in real life, it was winter in the game. Supposedly, it was supposed to be like that. But I always remember it being like the seasons changing way faster than actual real time. And then it had the weird online thing. It was just weird. That game was just weird. I don't love it. I think it's awful. Sorry. I think it's not an awful game. It's just the worst Pokemon game, I feel. So yeah. So and then I got Sun and Moon when it came out. I skipped Ruby and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. My brother got it, and I played a bit of it, like just to get a feel of it, and like I could do without, because there was nothing that like blew my mind with it. Like, oh, this is really good. I want to play it because I played my friends and my brother's son, so didn't care. But then I got Sun and Moon, or Sun. Did I get Sun or did I get Moon? No, I got Sun. Oh, that's also so bad. That is so bad. That is just. That's another one. Wow, that truck is loud. Or that, I think it's a truck outside. Anyway. Okay, the reason Sun and Moon is bad, like, so bad, is because two things. They got rid of gyms, and they did this, like, you did your trials thing. Oh, I think it was trials anyway. Anyway, it was dumb, stupid, but anyway, that's not the worst part. It's the part where, like, the tutorial will never, ever shut up. You can be playing for 5 minutes, right? And the tutorial will come up, right? You could be playing for 5 hours, and at some point the tutorial will come up and be like, boop, 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 boop. By the way, did you know how this is how you do this? Go to the Pokemon Center. This is how you go here. This is how you go there. This is this. This is that. It's like, stop it! Oh, this is bad. Oh, it's horrible. You could have been playing Pokemon, the series, for like 30 years. Like, you know how to play Pokemon, and at that point they should know. Okay, fine. You've been playing for 5 hours. They should figure out that, okay, maybe you know how to play Pokemon by this point. I don't know. It's also really easy Pokemon. Like, one of the easier Pokemon games. It's like, this is, no. I was like, I want a challenge, a little bit of a challenge. Anyway. That one's bad in a whole different reason than Black and White is bad. At least that has decent things. Also, I thought that the thing about new Pokemon where it's like, oh, you're the Galar region Pokemon. I'm like, why? Versions of other Pokemon that already existed. I'm like, why? No. I thought they scraped the bottom of the barrel when, like, they ran out of ideas when they were in Black and White and they were doing keychains and ice cream cones. This is just lazy in a whole different level. Because it's like, I'm not even going to design anything new. We're just going to take the same Pokemon we already have and tweak them slightly, and boom, they're new Pokemon now. Or they're a new version of the Pokemon. It's like, why? Oh, this is dumb. Anyway, I think that'll be it for now, guys. If you want to get in touch with me, there's always the comments, but link in the description. There's the email, tacoimposters@gmail.com. There's the Discord and the Patreon. Please, if you want to see better content, please support me on Patreon. Even if you give me $1, you'd be supporting this. You're supporting me, and you could see better content. So, I think that'll be it for now, guys. So, adios, mi amigos.